Before time had a name, before the stars dared to burn, there was only him. Silence did not exist, for even silence needs space, and space had not yet been spoken into being. Then, God moved, not with footsteps, but with will, not with voice, but with authority. And from his eternal presence, the first command broke through the nothingness. Let there be. But before light ever touched the void, before the earth was formed, before time itself began to breathe, God created witnesses, the angels. They were not shaped from dust, nor born of flesh. They were spoken into existence, formed from power, purpose, and divine will, each one reflecting a fragment of his glory. The seraphim, beings of unquenchable fire, their very essence ablaze with holiness. They dwell nearest to his throne, veiled in glory, yet ever burning, their voices echoing through eternity as they cry without ceasing. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Their worship is not a moment, it is their existence. The archangels and messengers, radiant and mighty, clothed in light that pierces darkness, they are the heralds of heaven, swift as lightning, unwavering in obedience. Sent across realms seen and unseen, they carry the will of God, delivering messages to prophets, strengthening the faithful, and standing as warriors in battles beyond human sight. The cherubim, guardians of divine majesty, awe-inspiring and fearsome, adorned with splendor beyond comprehension. They stand as sentinels of his presence, bearers of his throne, moving with power and precision. Their wings stretch wide, their forms filled with mystery, reflecting both beauty and authority, protectors of what is sacred. All distinct, yet united. All powerful, yet submitted. All created, yet eternal in purpose. All of them, the angels. They were not born, no cradle held them, no beginning marked their arrival. No breath gave them life. They were spoken, and in that moment, eternity trembled. Before light dared to exist, before the void had shape, the voice of God thundered through the endless nothingness, and at his command, they came forth. Not as infants, but as power. Not as fragile, but as flame. Each one forged with purpose, ignited with divine essence, radiant, terrible, magnificent, reflections of a glory too vast for mortal understanding. They opened their awareness and knew him, not by learning, but by being. For his presence was not around them, it was everything. Scripture reveals only a fragment of that moment, like a distant echo of a forgotten song. Job 38:4-7 says, "Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth, while the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy?" They were there. They stood at the edge of creation, witnesses to the impossible. They saw the void shudder beneath his will. They felt the silence break when he spoke light into existence. And when it burst forth, they cried out, not in fear, but in overwhelming wonder. Their voices erupted like thunder across the heavens, an unstoppable chorus of awe and worship. They sang as galaxies ignited, vast spirals of fire exploding into being at a single command. They watched as stars were cast into the darkness like blazing crowns. They beheld the heavens stretch outward, limitless, unstoppable, bending only to his authority. And they rejoiced. They rejoiced as chaos surrendered, as emptiness gave way to beauty, as creation unfolded, layer by layer, like a masterpiece only God could conceive. For they knew, they understood in that moment, that every spark of light, every burning star, every breath of existence, declared his glory. And from that first cry of worship, they would never be silent again. Among them stood one unlike the rest, not greater in creation, but unmatched in brilliance. A being adorned with beauty beyond comprehension, a masterpiece among masterpieces, a reflection so radiant it seemed to carry the very artistry of heaven itself. His name was Lucifer, light-bearer, morning star, perfection given form. Scripture unveils only a glimpse of what he once was. Ezekiel 28:13-15 says, "You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you." He was not made evil. There was no darkness in him, no flaw, no fracture. He was made perfect. Every detail of his being was intentional, crafted by the hand of God with precision and wonder. He did not simply reflect beauty, he embodied it, a guardian, a covering cherub. He stood in the very presence of God, so near to glory that lesser beings would tremble. His purpose was not distant service, but intimate proximity. He was entrusted with nearness, and he bore it magnificently. Every movement he made shimmered with splendor. Every step carried authority. Every glance reflected the light of heaven itself. Precious stones adorned him, radiant, living brilliance embedded within his very being, like constellations captured in form. Fire danced within him, not consuming, but revealing the glory he carried. And music. Music was not something he created. It was something he was. It flowed through him like breath, effortless, constant, alive. Every motion, every presence released harmony, as though heaven itself resonated within his existence. He did not merely sing worship, he was worship in motion. Light wrapped around him like a crown. No, more than a crown, like a mantle of identity. He carried it, bore it, radiated it. Wherever he stood, brilliance followed, and among all the hosts of heaven, he shone, not in defiance, not yet, but in perfection, in beauty, in glory. A being so magnificent that even he would one day look upon himself and forget the one who made him. But perfection is not the same as obedience. For even in a flawless being, there remains a choice: to reflect the Creator or to replace him. And beauty can become a mirror. At first, it was nothing. A glance, a moment, a quiet awareness of his own brilliance. Lucifer beheld the light that flowed through him, the radiance that adorned him, the splendor that set him apart. And for the first time, he did not look beyond himself. He looked at himself, not as creation, but as something more, something worthy, something exalted. The shift was almost imperceptible. No thunder, no warning, just a thought. Soft, subtle, dangerous. Why should glory only be reflected and never possessed? And in that moment, something changed. Pride took root, not as a storm, but as a seed, a silent poison buried deep within perfection. It did not corrupt him all at once. It grew, slowly, patiently, feeding on admiration, thriving on his own reflection. A whisper began to form within him, faint at first, but relentless. It spoke not of rebellion, but of possibility, of elevation, of more. And the whisper grew louder than truth, louder than worship, louder than the very presence of God, until what once was unthinkable became inevitable. Scripture reveals the cry that rose from within his heart. Isaiah 14:13-14 declares, "You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned. I will make myself like the Most High." Not serve, not reflect, but ascend, exalt, become. He desired the throne, not near it, but upon it. He craved the glory, not to give it, but to claim it. He wanted what could never be given, because it was never his to take. And still, he did not stand alone. His voice carried weight, his beauty commanded attention, his presence inspired trust. And slowly, others began to listen. Angels, beings of light, of purpose, of devotion, turned their gaze toward him. They heard the whisper, they felt the pull. They saw not rebellion, but a vision, a promise of something greater. A third of the angels listened, a third believed, a third followed. Loyalty shifted, silently at first, then undeniably. And heaven, perfect, eternal, unshaken heaven, felt it. The first fracture, not in its walls, but in its will, not in its structure, but in its harmony. A ripple of defiance spread through the divine order. For the first time, creation rose against the Creator, and the sound of endless worship, once pure, unified, eternal, began to tremble. Then came war, not of swords, nor of shields, but of allegiance. The heavens, once a perfect symphony of light and worship, shuddered under the weight of choice. Loyalty clashed with pride, truth shattered deception, and the air itself vibrated with the tremor of defiance. Revelation 12:7-9 says, "Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Michael, the steadfast warrior, rose among the faithful, not for glory, not for ambition, but for righteousness. He called the hosts of heaven, and their wings stretched wide, radiant with unshakable power. Light collided with darkness, echoing through the expanse, shaking the foundations of eternity. Lucifer roared. A brilliance turned to fury. Flames of pride wrapped him like a crown. His followers lunged with determination, chaos in their hearts, their voices raised in defiance. But the Creator's justice cannot be thwarted. The rebellion could not stand. The battle raged through realms unseen, a storm of wings and fire, until one decisive moment shattered the defiance. Lucifer fell, not gently, not with mercy, but like lightning ripped from the heavens, he and his angels tumbled down through the vast emptiness toward the earth that had been formed but remained empty of mankind. The first dust of rebellion touched the soil, and the winds carried it across a barren world. The earth, though lifeless, became their prison, their hunting ground, their kingdom of shadows. Invisible to the eyes of creation, yet ever present, they prowled, plotting, waiting. Some were free to wander, some were bound in chains of darkness, held in the abyss for the final judgment. 2 Peter 2:4 says, "God did not spare angels when they sinned, but sent them to hell, putting them in chains of darkness to be held for judgment on the great day." The heavens healed after the fracture. Harmony returned among the loyal, but a scar remained, etched into eternity, a reminder that even in perfection, choice exists. And even in beauty, pride can rise. The earth waited, silent and empty, and the fallen, the dragon and his angels, waited too, poised to oppose the future that the Creator would one day bring forth, the age of man.